you want to know how I have been able to succeed and really withstand this real estate market, it's primarily through cold calling and for the most part, circle prospecting. The beautiful part is I have an amazing pipeline and my pipeline is maturing. So I'm experiencing that compound effect. So if you want to learn, stick around. My name is Adela. I'm a real estate agent and actually I own my own brokerage now in South Florida. I primarily use Mojo, and the two-line dialer is my favorite. If you've watched some of my other videos, I've kind of explained, like, sometimes I do the single line dialer, sometimes the triple. I kind of change it out. But this is just from my own experience. I'm going to talk from my own experience. And if you want to replicate, feel free, go for it. So I'm just going to explain how you can do it too. So I recommend doing a Mojo. If you're starting off new, I recommend just purchasing one phone number through Mojo. Make sure to whitelist it. And if you're having that call reluctance, just try to have conversations, like 5 conversations, maybe for 30 minutes, day after day after day, because consistency is where it's at. It's not about spending 8 hours a day on the phone one day. Of course, you're going to want to feel to expedite that experience, but I would not recommend it because, number one, you want to protect your phone number. I've had the same 2 phone numbers since September of 2023 with Mojo because I protected them. I have little tips, tricks, little things that I do to still protect it, to make sure it doesn't get marked spam. So I still have really good pickups. I recommend doing the neighborhood search. It's $50. I paid it one time and I got 24,000 names, numbers, and some emails. I recommend, like, when you are doing Mojo search, do a little polygon and focus on particular neighborhoods and save your searches per neighborhood. So when maybe you have a listing, maybe you want to farm a particular neighborhood. And when you're also talking to people, sometimes they'll question you and they go, do you even know where you're calling? And you can tell them, yeah, I'm calling the blah, blah neighborhood. Like, I lived up the street or whatever. Then they're like, oh, okay, you're local. So if you want to make sure you're organized, go ahead and do it by neighborhood. And usually you'll get a list per neighborhood, depending on how big yours are. Mine are about 1,000 owners per neighborhood. So it can take me about 2 weeks to get through them, if not longer. Depending if you're like single line dialer, double dialing, and triple line dialing. In my particular sessions, I get about a contact or a lead per 10 contacts. Not every time, and that's totally fine, and you'll get used to it. Don't beat yourself down if you don't have any leads yet, like that same day. But you will be very excited when you do start getting leads. And just like little by little, you'll have a compound effect to the point where you have like 20 leads, 30 leads, 40, 100. I'm at my point, like I have over 100 leads that I have built. So that's kind of why I'm showing everyone everything. I mean, I just feel like there's no point in hiding it. And more than anything, I wish I had known all of this, when I originally started my career. It is Saturday. I love, love, love calling Tuesdays through Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays are the best for leads. I take Sundays and Mondays off, not off. I still technically work. I'm just not sitting on the phone. So I'm going to load up my dialer, and this particular neighborhood, it says it has 700. It's the first time I'm touching this list. So I got a list of 24,000. You're allowed 25,000 max per month, and 25,000 is more than enough. I still have not completed that. Hey, Jennifer, so nice to see you. Sometimes single line dialer can actually get more or less conversations than the 2-line dialer. It just depends on day and time people are answering. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing all you do. It's a huge inspiration and motivates me. Thank you. I called for 1 hour yesterday and everyone was nice. Yes. Oh, yes. LOL, setting up my schedule to call consistently. Thank you. You're very welcome for it. More importantly, congratulations to you. And you should thank yourself because you actually took action And since you're thinking about calling consistently, like just start off for 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day. Just keep doing that. And then you'll get to a point where you're really comfortable and you're like, oh God, this is so boring. I could totally do an hour. Yeah, and if you want, I mean, I don't know your schedule. I don't know if you have a full-time job, but if you don't, or maybe you have work later in the day, just doing like 10 to 10:30. I love that. That seems to be a really sweet spot. Or if you happen to have work, call from like 5:30 to 6 for 30 minutes, but consistently because you want your phone number to become, what do you call it? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Not reliable, not relatable, not recognizable, but the telephone carriers, a reputation. I knew it was with an R. You want your phone number to build up a reputation with the cell phone carriers, and then make sure to whitelist it with Mojo. I remember being super afraid of actually having my name as the whitelist, and you'd be surprised, sometimes they actually answer because your number shows up as caller ID. They also think that you are saved in their phone, so they'll answer it like, "Oh my god, I know this person," rather than it just being like a random phone number. And sometimes they may just Google you and then like call you back or text you back. So you just never know. I would say don't worry about that too much. But since you are now starting to call, and yes, if people are so nice, and if they're not nice, hang up, just hang up. You do not want them to affect you. Just be like, not dealing with that today, and then just go on to the next call. Oh, and that reminds me. Oh yeah, my phone's on do not disturb. Put your phone on do not disturb. So if you do get a call back, it doesn't throw you off, because that used to make me so nervous until someone told me, like, Adela, put it on do not disturb. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think about that? So when you do cold call, put yourself on do not disturb. And I'm so proud of you, Jennifer. That's so exciting. Actually, when you do get your first lead, I want you to tell me if you can. I think you follow me on Instagram, I think it is. Send me a DM. That would be so fun. I'm so excited for you to get your first lead. And I love circle prospecting. It's the best. I'm like in such a good place now, thankfully. Now I don't want to stop. So this is honestly like the best lead generator. When I used to call FSBOs expireds, I feel like a lot of them will give you hopism, and they end up meeting with so many realtors. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the FSBOs and expireds like give hopism, they give appointments to so many realtors, and then you're like, it's so cutthroat, it's a race to the bottom. And then so many of the realtors think that that one person is their lead. Whereas because I'm cold calling and finding homeowners before they ever list, or before they ever become an expired, or before they ever become a FSBO, I have the upper hand, which is so beautiful. And I have so many leads at this point in time. I'm not going to convert them all. That's fine. But if I can convert a percentage, it's terrific. And that's kind of why I want to just show everyone, like, it's not, I mean, just be consistent. Consistency is the biggest. So it's Saturday, it's 2:22, and I'm just sitting on the dialer in my comfies, got my dog under my desk at home. Like, my mom's here visiting. I'm actually sick. I don't know if you can tell, I struggle a little with my voice, but I'm so much happier just doing this from home rather than like being at a place where I have to dress up and socialize with coworkers and like drive somewhere and not be home. Actually, I was showing homes to a buyer a couple weeks ago to a couple. And I remember being in the car driving around, and I was like, this sucks. I would rather sit on the dialer. I mean, for me to be out and about for 4 or 5 hours with buyers, I was like, this sucks, man. I prefer to be a listing agent. Jennifer says here, hold on, where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Jennifer said that's really helpful. Yes, I will definitely share with you. I can't wait. That'll be so exciting. I have a feeling it'll be sooner rather than later. You'd be surprised. You just keep calling. You're about to bump into someone who wants to sell. It's like a numbers game, as they say. I also purchased the magnet business cards to attach my business card. Thanks to you. Yes, I love them. You'd be surprised how many people have. Hello, Brenda.
Hi, you reached Brenda. Sorry I missed your call.
You'd be surprised how many people have those on their refrigerator, even when you walk in. Or like I go to appointments and they'll have my handwritten note card on their table or on their kitchen countertop or like on their microwave because they save them. They're very memorable. And this is one trick. That was kind of him. That's as bad as it gets. No, I'm busy. Click. Okay, bye. Where was I saying? Oh, you know what? Okay, so this trick, this traditional agent told me, she's been in the business for like 30 years. She was actually teaching an ethics class. She said, put your magnet business card, like when you take a listing, put it on the refrigerator. And then it was funny because I remember saying that. I was like, oh, I heard about the refrigerator. And then she turned around and she goes, don't forget the AC and the water heater. And I was like, what? I was kind of laughing. And so a couple listings of mine, I have put my business magnet card on the refrigerator when I take the listings. And a couple of them, I put my business card on the water heater and the AC because she was like, you'd be surprised how many of those homeowners in a few years decide to sell and they call you because they've been like subconsciously seeing your name and your face over and over. I was like, wow, that's a strategy. I thought that was so interesting when she said that. So yeah, and I want to say, Jennifer, the magnet business cards, it's like a stack of 100. I want to say, what is it, $15 for a stack of 100, which is, I mean, in my, like, between the business, between the magnet business cards, the handwritten note cards, the flower seeds, those are the main three things that I use for my leads. And it's just so inexpensive. That's like all I do. Otherwise, it's just calling, texting. I send them emails. But then, like, after the 9th month, I just like marked her off. She was still getting my weekly email, but on Wednesday, her brother called me and said, hey, you've been emailing my sister apparently. And I was like, what's her name? And he told me, I'm like, yes, I have. Like, I think I've been talking to her for a year now. He goes, yeah, we're coming down April 12th or something, like mid-April, and we would like to meet with you. I'm like, cool. So these are all the people that I like generated last year. So it's really compound, just like keep adding. And by cold calling, it's the best real estate lead generator in terms of like return on your investment. Cause all you're doing is you're putting like 30 minutes or an hour a day into this. And then eventually it just like piles and piles and stacks and stacks and stacks. And they just like convert. Is this person going to answer here? All right, so we're just dialing. Once you get your new number, please press the start button. Ease the phone number into the system. Don't go all crazy and throw that new number into the triple line dialer because that's the best way to get marked as spam. Get your second phone number eventually and do the same thing, like 30 minutes a day, build it up to an hour a day and do it consistently like for a month. And then switch it up and then throw it into the 2-line dialer and then switch it up and throw it into the 3-line dialer. It will be painful because it will be boring because you'll want to speed up and get more conversations in, but don't do that because you want to protect the phone number. Some of the other tips, tricks I would recommend, again, from my experience when it comes to the phone number, is I actually will pick up. Not every single call that comes in, but like say I'm doing my session and then I'm done, I take the do not disturb. If somebody calls back, because they will, it's the strangest thing to me that people would actually call back, but they do. So I actually will answer and I'll talk to them. I'll be like, oh yeah, I was just a realtor. Did you want to sell? It's kind of a quick way. Or like if I'm at my desk, I'll punch in their phone number. And so like say it's Joe. I'll be like, oh, hey, Joe, thanks for calling me back. They're like, who is this? I'm like, oh, my name's Adela. It was just a real no. And I'm like, okay, no worries. Bye. And I'll hang up. Okay, so we're getting another, I would say the calls are coming in a little faster here. And there didn't seem to be too much of a delay. So we'll go with it. now Mojo's calling someone back. In this case, if you ever do the triple line dialer and it says calling back on the little square, that means they had previously answered, the system hung up, and now Mojo's calling them again. So in this case, this is when I kind of pretend and I go, hey, can you hear me now? Like, can you hear, is this better? And a lot of the times they'll go, oh yeah, this is a lot better. I can hear you now. So that's kind of like a little trick that I also do. I'm trying to think of what else, what other tips, tricks. I know I got a call or a question yesterday regarding follow-ups. For the most part, I treat all my leads the same from the beginning. I send them all my handwritten note cards. My mentor mentioned to include the forget me not seeds that I have included. This magnet card. I actually will include two. Jennifer, I don't know if you're still there, but so I'll just do the regular, like just a flimsy one that they can put in their wallet, and I'll include a magnet business. And the magnet business card is literally a magnet with a sticker. You guys can click on the link. I have it in my descriptions and everything. It's just, I get it from Amazon. It's a magnet and it's a sticker. You peel it off and you just like stick your business card on top of it. Just be very careful because that thing is super sticky. Like if you mess up if you mess up, you can't rip. I mean, you can try, you'll rip it off. It doesn't work. Like you got to be very accurate when you actually put it. So I give them two. So it's kind of like a little, the envelope is also a little thicker, which makes them even more curious. And the handwritten note cards that I have also have colored envelopes. And like a flower sticker, and they work great. I get people comment about my cards all the time, but more importantly, they're memorable. I treat them all the same at the beginning. So I'll insert them into my phone manually. I used to do it automatically through the API Nation with Mojo. It's like a connector, and I would send it to my phone. But there are way too many errors, and sometimes my leads were not transferring to my phone. So I was like, screw this. Actually, input it into my phone manually. Jennifer said that's really smart to include two. Yeah, do two. One for the refrigerator and then one. And sometimes I even tell them like, oh, you can give the other one to a friend or a neighbor in case they want to like give it away and they know they have one. Because and you know, I started doing that because I did have some people tell me, I had people actually call me and ask me to mail them more cards. And some of them would say, hey, can you include a couple so I can hand them out to my neighbors? Because I know a few of them are thinking about moving. So that's when I was like, maybe I should include two. So that's why I started doing that. Hello, welcome. So remember, always be cordial with people. Always be nice. We are interrupting their day. So we're at 4 contacts. I'm at 25 minutes, but you know what? At the 12-minute mark, I was doing single line dialer and I only had 1 contact. And I'm doing this to kind of show you the difference. So then at the 12-minute mark, I switched over to the triple line. And just so you guys know, every time somebody answers, I click on the little Zillow button. So Jennifer, next time you look on your Mojo screen, you'll see a Zillow button and then a Google Maps button. Most people think it's like some kind of sponsor or logo. It's not. It's an actual button you can click on. So I click on the Zillow button, just see if they're already listed for sale. And if they are, I just kind of cut the conversation short because we are not supposed to be soliciting properties that are already on the market. So I either hang up immediately or just kind of say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So silly of me. I apologize. You're already on the market or something. Because then they kind of start getting very curious. They're like, why are you calling me? Call my realtor. How did you get my number? Do you have a buyer? And it just spirals out of control. I'm like, ugh. So I try and finish those as quick as possible. All right. So 4 contacts, and that's fine because if it ends up being an hour and I'm at 8, that's normal. Worst is when you're like at 3 an hour. That's almost devastating. But if you're at 3 an hour, there's something going on. Either maybe Mojo's being laggy, which I highly recommend doing the Ethernet cable. maybe this is the long shot. This is the most extreme, is if your phone number is marked spam, but try and do anything to prevent that from happening, such as building up reputation, whitelisting it with Mojo, ease your number into it. Don't load up the triple line dialer at the beginning. Maybe you are, I wouldn't say the phone numbers are bad, because I mean, I almost want to say like 90% of the numbers that I get are correct. Maybe it's just like a spouse or something, so I'm still able to ask them a question. But when I get 10 conversations an hour, that's a great day. One time I had a lady pick up when it was a fax and she was like, hello. I'm like, what the hell? That never happens. So here, what got you into real estate and when did you start? Ooh, good question. So let's see, what got me into real estate? I actually used to work for Viking Cruises. I did that for 4 years, and I didn't even think about real estate, but I was doing well, like financially, selling Viking Cruises. But they did at the time there were 4 guys working from home, but that was only because they had been with the company for like 10 years and they were not allowing anyone to work from home. And this was like pre-pandemic, of course. Like, we want to move. And just thinking about it for years and years, I was like, well, we can continue thinking about moving to Florida for another 3 years, or just. So thankfully we had some savings. We're like, we do this now or we never do it. So we made the jump. But before we made the jump, we're like, what can we possibly do for work? I actually had a friend in Miami. She was my trainer originally for Viking Cruises, and she moved to Miami because of the cruise company. And so I was like, I'll just get a job at the cruise lines. And I remember we were house shopping and she was here, and I asked her for a job. And she told me she would get me a job at the cruise lines, but then she told me, she was like, Adela, just so you know, you're not going to get paid as much as you used to back in California. And I was like, oh crap. So then my husband and I had a conversation of like, what can I sell where I'm going to get a big fat check like I used to at Viking Cruises? And so naturally we were just like, real estate, I can get a big fat check, selling real estate. So I actually looked into it. I was a bit hesitant, but I was also tired of the whole corporate world. So I was like, okay, I could be my own boss. I'll be an independent contractor. I'll have my own schedule. The biggest thing for us is we have kids. And I said, if I do real estate, we won't have to hire a nanny. We won't have to hire babysitters. We won't have to pay for aftercare. So it was more the flexibility of working and just having our own schedule. So that's really what got me into real estate. So when we moved here, I immediately studied, I got licensed. So that's kind of why I got into real estate, was for the money and the time. But I will say the first, that's kind of why I did it. And then when did you start? So let's see. I officially passed and got licensed July of 2020. And I hung my license with a boutique brokerage in August of 2020. And I will say, unfortunately, he treated me more like his assistant, and like told me to do things like go there, go there, go there. So I wasn't really making the money. He was just kind of he was just like teaching me in a way. So I kind of expedited my learning. And then I realized I was really good because he was asking me like, what are you doing? Like, why are my listings selling so quickly that I've been struggling to sell? And I was like, I don't know, I'm like presenting. So that's also why I realized showing in person is really important, because once I started showing the properties, they were selling faster. So that's why I still do it to this day. For most of my properties, I show in person. But I would say I did not realize cold calling existed. I did not even know how to work with homeowners yet. And I knew the real estate lawsuit was already happening. William?
Please leave your message for
So I actually knew that was going to happen. And I thought, oh, buyer agents are going to get hit hard. So my husband and I, he knew about it, and we're like, holy shit, we got to pivot. We have to change. The checks are great. I will say this, I own my own company now, but I've been
always there.
Oh,
To get your call from the
ADT.
right security.
At this, I mean, I was with that boutique brokerage, and then I went to a traditional brokerage, and then I went to a 100% commission brokerage. And then I was like, screw this, I'm just going to open up my own company. So officially 2 months ago, or in January of 2025, I now officially have my own real estate company. And now I feel so free. I call the shots. No one can tell me what he was so quiet. I had like toned my voice down, and it's a little like from being sick. So I hope that answered your question, Sergio. I don't know if I went too long on a tangent. But I will say it's been great being on the listing side. All right, we're at 7 contacts in 37 minutes, so that's good. I'm constantly looking at that number. Let's keep calling. I'm waiting for that one person. You always know when you have a lead, when they have a little bit of a hesitation in their voice. When they're like, well, and then I'm like, but he was asking questions, which is great. Sometimes when they start asking questions of who you're with, you'd be surprised. It's not that they're like trying to investigate you. They're just really curious because they may want to actually do business with you. So this is a perfect example of somebody I will follow up with, because you never know what may happen or what the family is planning on like doing. So I'm going to mark him as a lead. That was actually not bad at all, because you heard that hesitation. I literally said the hesitation, and that was a perfect example of the hesitation. So that's actually what you want to hear for. So that was a contact and a lead, and that was 8 contacts. It did, and congrats. That definitely must have been exciting, finally getting your broker's license. Yep, 100%. Really started feeding me leads, and I was converting. I remember doing like a $1.6 million deal and a $1.2 million deal. And he called me and was like, oh my God, I just heard you did a deal. And I was like, well, yeah, had you listened to me, had you known, and I'd done sales before, I'm good with people. So then I was building, but then I realized I was giving like 50% of my commission to him. So he made great money off of me, but I was like, yeah, I'm moving on. And I was recruited by a traditional brokerage, which I do not want to mention their name. But then when I went there, I would take listings or I would do things, and then they would call me and reprimand me and said, you can't do this. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I had to do business according to their standards. You know what? I'm so well organized in general. I could be my own broker. And if I really need help, my association can help me with it. What I also need to do is call this gentleman for another listing appointment. I have a listing appointment tomorrow. And I would say the amount of listing appointments I'm going on is more and more every month so far. Let me get my calculator and show you. Oh, hey, Derek, Indiana in the house. I did my calls a few hours ago and set one appointment with expired. That is awesome. I just hung up on him. See, that's a perfect example of someone you just want to protect your energy from. So bye-bye. I actually thought it was a wife at first. I couldn't tell, and then he started yelling. Anyways, oh yeah, good for you. Kudos to you, Derek, honestly, for calling expired. I wish I have that energy. I just can't. I mean, I will say, if you get them right first thing, they're way more open. And the fact that you actually called a few hours ago shows to me that you're calling on a Saturday, which is even better, because so many don't call. Like, so many realtors don't call on the weekend. So that's pretty awesome. Let me know when you get that listing. Let's see, set appointment. I'm curious when your appointment is, but I'm sure you'll get it. So just let me know. That would be really cool. Oh, Wednesday at 1. All right. Oh, that's a super nice price point. Expired at $685. Love it. There's a couple. I also have a listing appointment tomorrow at 11. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday when I did the live here. And I was shocked. I got a lead and an appointment, which is the first time it's ever happened. Circle prospect where she's like, oh, no, but I do have this other property to sell. And no, I don't have a realtor. Can you come over and take a look at it? I was like, oh my God. And that's in one of the other videos if you guys want to watch that. It was from this week. So I'll just follow up. I'm telling you right now, there are people who are thinking and planning on selling because they have certain things going on in their life right now. And they don't just wake up the next day. It's something that they have to like plan and prep for. That's really what we're looking for. So I always tell people, listen, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just looking to see who I can help. And that's the truth. Derek, FSBO expires are statistically the quickest business to get. Yes, but there's a lot of competition, 100%. Although the right attitude and script is always the most crucial. Right attitude, I would agree with. Attitude, I think attitude, I would say is very experience. And yeah, they are the quickest business because I've done it. I'm not saying here I'm the queen whatsoever. I was probably super bad. And I promise you, Derek, if I had to go up against you, you would win. I'm just telling it like it is. I don't even have a listing presentation anymore. Like, I do not have a listing presentation, people. I am telling you right now. Like, people just call me and are like, Adela, can you come over? Tell us what price we should list at. And I'm like, oh, did you have a price in mind? They're like, no, whatever you want. And because of course I end up having so many leads, they've been like popping off and they're just like telling me what they want. And in terms of script, I don't even do script at this point. It's literally just me, like from experience of just evolving and changing and seeing what it is I do and say that has helped. I would say maybe I've used, okay, where am I? Yeah, I mean, I think with FSBOs and expires, you probably just have to end up having a script as far as like, oh, you know what, Derek? There's this guy, first name is Sean. He's out of Prescott, Arizona. He built his whole his business through circle prospecting. And he told me, he goes, the quickest, if you want to get quick buck, call FSBOs expireds. But if you really want to build a business, you got to circle prospect. And he was hilarious. I was there. Actually, my mentor had invited him for a speaking engagement. And he said when he used to go on his listing appointments, he would give them the option. He goes, before I go over tomorrow, I can do one of three things. Number one, do you want me to go through my entire presentation line by line and show you what I'm going to do? Number two, do you want me to just sum it up and we'll just do the paperwork? Or do you just want to do the paperwork and like sign? And he said almost never did they go with the first option. And then like maybe 50% were like, oh, just sum it up, just tell us really quick and we'll sign. And then the other ones were like, no, it's fine, just bring the paperwork. For the most part, my case, like I do not do a listing presentation because I feel like I've already proven myself over the months of nurturing and even like popping by or swinging by their property early on. So they already know. Yeah, a lot of the times, like I don't even do a listing presentation. Like I come and I meet with them. We talk about the house. I walk the house. We chit chat, whatever. It was nice to meet you. I leave. Just follow up. And then they're like, Adela, we're ready. And during my follow-ups, I'm telling them what's happening in their market. Like a part of my process is I create a market report for them, especially as I get further along the line, down the line, of them. It's okay. We'll keep calling. So I have 10 contacts, 1 lead, and it's been 1 hour exactly. So see, I started at the beginning of this live, 11 contacts. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Derek, if you and I went up against the FSBO expireds, you would totally win. I'm not going to stay here, but this is also why I love circle prospecting and why my business is booming from circle prospecting. And I'm not in this, like, I don't know about you, but I felt like I was in a constant rat race, like in a hamster wheel of these FSBOs and expireds. Whereas with the circle prospecting, it's just chill, call an hour to 2 a day, get my lead or 2 a day. I do my follow-ups. I meet with clients and they just call me over time. I inform them of what's going on in the market. I send them an email once a week. And then they just like call me out of the blue. Can you come over? I'm ready to list. Like, wouldn't it be an amazing business where you can have leads that call you and say, hey, can you come over? I'm ready to list. That's where I'm at. And so that's why I'm also like, I don't know if I want to call FSBOs expireds anymore. Like, I don't know if I want to be in that rat race. I don't know if I want to like have a 7 o'clock listing appointment. Like my listing appointments are in the afternoon, Robert,
Forwarded to voicemail.
when my kids are at school. So that's when I like to go. I started back in real estate this January and I'm basically brand new, but I've closed 1, have 2 active and 2 coming soon. That's actually pretty damn good. Cold calling is awesome, but not easy. And I need to be more consistent. Yep. Consistency is the biggest. So for myself, I took 3 listings in January, 5 in February. I think I have like 4 or 5 this month listings. And then I already have I have a listing appointment already in April from some client that I've been following up with for a year. My brother called me and was like, hey, you've been following up with my sister and sending her a weekly email and we're coming down mid-April. We'd like to meet you. So, yeah. And it's so funny because like, okay, I have a listing appointment tomorrow and then I have to call another guy for like, hey, call me so we can coordinate a day for you to come over. So I'm going to call him and get a listing appointment for that. I have the other couple in April and then I had another last week. So it's almost like I'm having like maybe 1 to 2 listing. No, I can't say 1 to 2 listing appointments a week. Great, Derek. The fact that you're already getting momentum. I would probably challenge you to do an hour of circle prospecting after you're done with your session of FSBOs and expireds. And then you'll really build up and then you won't have to like grind so much as far as like FSBOs expireds. But consistent for sure. Like even if you did 30 minutes to an hour a day of circle, you're already going to start feeling the effects of it. You have a lead. It's been 1 hour and 6 minutes and 11 contacts. So I'm not going to count that last lady. You guys need anything that I use or work or whatever have, honestly, I just put it out there on my description. I buy things on Amazon. I have like the website I use, everything for the most part. And if I don't have it there, just let me know, ask me a question, I'll put it out.